this wheel is number 19.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You know something, I see the clipboard, but I don't see the, oh, okay.
All right, so I want to take a look at 19. Can you guys still see if I leave the second set on?
Yeah.
Not all at once, it's overwhelming. All right, so this one we're going to get into Array, and Array works as a patterning tool, similar to Copy, right? If you can imagine, if I wanted to copy a whole bunch of these, I could use the tool Copy, and then I could turn it, right? But I would have to know the degrees, and of course the rotation as it went would get more and more complex. So that's a lot to know. It also uses a rectangular array. So if I wanted to lay out like a ceiling like this, instead of drawing each individual tile, all I would do is draw one and then I would pattern it. And again, I could use Copy, right? I could draw one and then copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. That would be ridiculous. So what this does is it uses a patterning tool, and it lives under this little button on Modify. So let me open this so you can see a little bit easier. It is this guy right here, right below Fillet. If you remember our friend Fillet, right below Fillet, there is an array tool, and it has a drop-down arrow next to it. Now, I'm sure, just as I'm sitting here, the Path Array has a defined purpose, and those people that use it probably love it. I have been teaching this for 17 years and have never used Path Array. So to tell you that it's useless is, with a qualifier, a statement that I'll make, right? So I'm sure, again, like if I was doing a row of auditorium seats and I needed it on a curve, they may be something I use, but it comes up pretty infrequently, I'll say it that way. Rectangular, I'm going to demonstrate in just a second, and polar is the one that we're going to use for circular objects. So I'm going to draw a random thing up here. You will not see this anywhere, but just to demonstrate these guys. Don't feel like you have to do this. So if I have said rectangle, and I want to make a whole bunch of these rectangles, what I would do is I would go into Array here, and we're going to do rectangular array first. So if you hover over it, it gives you this cool little demo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Array, and this is one of those noun, verb, verb, noun. It'll work either way, so you can't really mess it up. You can either click the thing and then what you want to do with it, or you can click what you want to do with it and then the thing. It doesn't really matter. If you click the action first, right, the verb first, and then the noun, you're going to get to a point where you're stuck. It's going to say select objects. Well, I have already. You can see it is highlighted in blue. So I'm going to have to hit enter to get to the next step. Okay. If you do the noun verb, right, so click the thing and then the action, it'll drive you right to the ribbon. So just be aware that depending on which order, you may have to hit an enter is really like the big thing to know. So, as you can see here, I have this patterned rectangle. It's awesome. And it has a whole bunch of control features here along the ribbon that I need to work within. So the first one is the number of columns. This works just like a spreadsheet. So if you're kind of thinking like, oh, that makes sense. The number of columns are going across, right? And the number of rows are going down, just like in a spreadsheet. So I currently have 4 for the value, so let me just change that so you can see it. So I'm going to click that to 3, and you have to click to another field. It doesn't matter what field, in order for the information to update. Okay? So once I click on to the next field, you can see that it's updated that. So again, if I click rows and I want 2 of these, I have to click to another field before it gives me the preview update. So keep that in mind. If you change a value, it doesn't automatically change. You have to click something else. That may be something you want to write down or remember at least. All right. And so when I'm all done, I can say, look, I really wanted like, 5 of these guys and 7 of these guys. And once I'm all set with that, I can hit close array, and it's going to make me this guy. Okay. And there's more to it than that, but we'll come back to this particular one, because there's an exercise in here that specifically talks about this, and there's a little more to it, but overall, that's as simple as this. Okay. Polar is a little bit more complex. If I want to change this guy, I'm going to click on it, and the drop down, I'm going to click polar. So polar asks for a base point, and you can probably imagine that this is going to be the center of whatever you're rotating around. Okay, so if you're thinking like a